Yeah, this is your boy DJ Leon D. I'm back now. I've been traveling for a little bit, so I haven't posted a podcast in a while now. But I'm back. I'm back on my regular schedule, but I got a lot more traveling to do, and I'm gonna take you along right along with me and stuff. I'm gonna show you pictures and stuff. But let's talk about 4th of July. Nah, let's talk about holidays in general. Holidays and families is what we're gonna call this. Holidays and families. You see, during the holidays, you have these big cookouts, especially the summertime. I love them. But you know what I don't like? I don't like inviting family over. That's always a tough one when you invite family because you know what? It never goes the way you want it when you got family. And I'm gonna put it out there. I love when friends come. Matter of fact, I'd rather have all my holidays with just friends, no family. Because see, family do things friends don't do. Yeah, it's a big difference. Family do things friends just don't do. Family come in, they want to stay there for a while. They always the first to show up and the last to leave, and they always gotta have some food to go with them. And 99% of the time, they don't ask you. They don't ask. See, friends are always gonna ask. Friends look at their watch and say, "Well, it's about time to leave." If you don't look at your watch, your family ain't gonna leave, and they can see you look at your watch a lot. It doesn't bother them at all. It does not bother them at all. And friends don't let their kids make their own meals. Because see, friends are afraid that a kid is gonna drop, spill, or something, you know? Friends feel that way. Family, they kid drop a hamburger. The first thing the family say to the little, 12-year-old kid, he got more. They feel totally comfortable with ignoring your wishes too. You say we starting at 2 o'clock, they show up at 1 o'clock. They tell you quickly, I thought we was gonna eat at 2 o'clock, so I came at 1 o'clock to make sure I'm ready to eat at 2 o'clock. Yeah, they get it all wrong. Yeah, they get it all wrong. But and then friends always ask you, is there anything I can bring? They always ask you that kind of stuff. Family, they ain't bringing shit. They don't care. They assume you got everything. They assume just because you don't drink Jack Daniels, you still gonna have it because you know they're coming. And see, and friends don't bring plus ones and plus twos. Family bring plus fives. We brought the neighbor kids because they looked like they were hungry as well. So we brought the neighbor kids with us. Now you sitting there and you thinking that your family, you tell your cousin, him, his wife, and his 3 kids, and you say, okay, I plan for five. No, 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 no. They brought five and they brought five more. They don't care if you run out of food, as long as they eat first. As long as they eat first, they don't care. So my whole thing is this: every single reunion, every single thing we do, every single 4th of July, Memorial Day, man, it's a lot more fun when you don't have family coming. Yeah, and then these are the same family members that don't wish you good luck. They hope you're doing good because they can get more out of you. They can borrow more money. They can borrow more gas. They got a whole lot of reasons why they can do a lot more things. So my whole point is this: have your uh, get-togethers, but don't call them family get-togethers because families take that literal. Don't call them family get-togethers. Have your get-togethers and have with just friends. See, I'm kind of lucky. I don't have nobody on my side of the family that lives close by me. No, that was not done by accident. That was done intentionally. If my family would have moved up here to the Northeast, I would have moved out west. Because, see, my family ain't going to travel. No, not with their own money anyway. But also, one thing that, when you tell friends what to bring, you say, hey, man, just bring some bread, Costco bread. Go to Costco, get some bread, and bring just that. That's what they're going to do. Not family. You say, family, bring some bread, Costco bread. No, 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 no. They going to Piggly Wiggly. They going someplace that you know is gross when you walk in. They going someplace that they're gonna get it for the cheapest price possible, but they want to eat steak when they show up. But what they bring is gonna be cheap. I used to laugh because my cousins and them, they never ever bought a 2 liter Coke until they found out that a 2 liter was cheaper than a 6 pack, those little minis, because they made sure that, family. One of the things that's intriguing about them is that they do what they want, no matter what it is that you want them to do. Now, like I was saying earlier, my family is never gonna ever buy a 2 liter Coke because they realize that from a 2 liter Coke, you're gonna have a lot of spillage. Kids are gonna make a mess. They're gonna open it and not drink it all. If they knock it down, then you're wasting 2 liters and a couple bucks or $3, whatever it is. They buy the little short mini ones that gives about 8 ounces in a can because they know that the most the kid can waste is 8 ounces, not the whole 2 liters. And God forbid you tell them to bring more than one 2 liter. No, 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 no. I watched them drink liquor, Jack, Hennessy, all kind of stuff that they mix with Coke. I watched them do a lot of that, and they know they need more than just a little short minis. But whatever you don't drink, it's going back with them. If they bring something to your family get together, whatever it is that you don't drink is going back with them. Yeah, my family don't mess around like that. They ain't leaving nothing for you and your family. They gonna take what they didn't drink, and they gonna take some food home to go with what they didn't drink. That's their next couple meals. You see people take a whole rack of ribs, just because you got 3 racks left don't mean one go to them. That's not how they see it. But so friends don't do that kind of stuff. No. Friend come to eat, and you may have to force your friend to take some food back with them home when they leave to get together. You may have to, you may force them to take something back. Not my family. You might have to force them to leave something for you to eat the next day. But as far as taking, the way they look at it, everything you got left over is eligible to be taken, no matter how expensive it is. Like salmon, it doesn't bother them to say, well, you got a couple pieces of salmon left. And I say, well, I got more than a couple pieces. I got a big old whole salmon. It does not bother them. To them, there's a couple pieces. So that's how my family operates. And so also, like I said about friends ain't trying to stay the night. They ain't trying to make sure that all the alcohol's gone. Because see, my family, as long as you got alcohol left, they got some partying left in them. Oh yeah, they got some partying left in them if you got alcohol left. Because they feel that it ain't been a party unless all the alcohol's gone. Now, they're not going to bring any, but they would not hesitate. They would not hesitate to tell you what it is that they drink. They would not hesitate at all to tell you what they drink. So my thing is, family don't have boundaries. They don't have any boundaries. To give you a quick story, I got 5 bathrooms. One of them is a little half bathroom that you wash your hands in. It's got a toilet in it and stuff. It's right off the kitchen, and that's where people want to wash their hands or grab a tissue to blow your nose, something simple. My cousin had a 24-year-old kid decide that's the place to use the bathroom, even though I got all these other bathrooms. I got one for men only downstairs out of the way. Nope. He decided to go right there for 30 minutes. And he did not see why I was upset with a house full of people. Yeah, he's got some issues. He's got some issues. And he's a college graduate. He had just graduated college when I mistakenly told him to stop by. No, never again. Never again. But, my whole thing is, when family come over as well, they don't, like I said, they have no boundaries. Family, it doesn't bother them to ask or say the stupidest shit in the world. No, it doesn't bother them. And then, for it, they have now embarrassed you in front of all your friends and making it look like it's normal. And your friends are wondering, oh, y'all got the same DNA? No, we don't. No, we don't. Somebody, dad, mom, somebody cheated. We ain't from the same gene pool. Nope, nope, nope. Somebody cheated. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was my mom and dad or his mom and dad, but somebody somewhere went wrong. Or it could have been granddad and grandma. I don't know. But also, friends are never going to ask you to stay the night for a family get together. I got relatives that see how much space you got, and they just assume you want them to stay. They assume you got plenty of room. They assume that you're going to have breakfast ready the next morning, even though they got a plate full of food that they taking from the barbecue or from the family gathering meal. They got Thanksgiving, whatever. They got a plate full of food in the car. They will bring that back, put it in the refrigerator, stay the night, get up the next morning, have breakfast, and take their food in the refrigerator home with them anyway. And they don't want for breakfast what they had for dinner the night before. They want you to get up and cook some omelets, some French toast, some pancakes, some sausages, some bacon. That's the breakfast. And they want breakfast right around 7 o'clock, right before the news come on. Friends aren't going to do anything that damn dumb. Friends feel embarrassed to even ask you for anything. I had a friend that ran out of gas on the way home. He was embarrassed to call me and say he ran out of gas. He said, I just totally forgot to get gas on my way here. I said, oh, it's not a big deal. No, I'm going to call AAA. I'm going to call AAA. Yeah, he said, I'm going to call AAA. He was so embarrassed. So, I said, nah, man, you're only 8 miles away. I'm calling AAA. I had a family member that had the same situation. And I said, hey, man, I come give you a ride, come pick you up, get some gas. He said, okay, you going to come get me? I said, yeah, I'm hoping he said, don't come get me. But no, not family. I'll stay here till you get here. I'll be here when you get here. And then, so I go there. He's about 1.5 miles from where he told me he was at on the interstate. And right in front of him was the mile marker. Right in front of him, literally 5 feet away. I said, hey, man, you told me the wrong place, but you got a mile marker right there. Is that what that is? Yeah, that's what that is. That's a mile marker. That green thing with numbers on it. It'd been a little easier for you to tell me that. And I said, hey, I brought you a gallon of gas. He said, not a problem. Appreciate it. Put the gallon of gas in his car. Car started up. Can I borrow $30 more to make it all the way home? I said, you only live 10 miles away. Well, I need gas for tomorrow, too. I need gas for tomorrow. I said, I'll be damned. He needs gas today, tomorrow, and next week, and he want me to give him gas money. I left. And I left him right there with no gas money. I said, well, I'll tell you what, hopefully that car get about 5 miles closer to your house, and you got to just push it the rest of the way. Because this is not a credit card or a bank. So my thing with friends is that friends always gonna be grateful. They're gonna thank you too when you feed them. They're gonna thank you when you buy them a drink or whatever. Not family members. I've been out with friends and I say, I got this, I'll cover it. They say, hey, no problem. I got the next round. Family members? No. You say I got this, they're gonna turn around and say, hey, make that last drink a double. He got it. That's how family members think. Even when you have them for a get together, a food gathering, I noticed that I have thimbles that are shot sizes and double shot sizes. I have those, and I measure my drinks because you don't want to ever go out and say I had too much to drink and get into it with a cop because you didn't measure your drink. Man, friends, I said, hey, use those thimbles to measure your drinks. Hey, no problem. Family member, they're pouring it from the bottle straight to the glass. And I noticed they use a lot less mixer too versus a bar. Because in a bar, 4/5 of what you're drinking is mixer. At home and you buying with my family, 4/5 of what they drinking is liquor. And some of them don't even use chaser or any mixer. No. It just take up valuable space, like my uncle said. Why I want to take up that kind of space in my body? So you got to tell yourself, when you have these functions and you got these family members coming over, see, they don't have boundaries, and some of your older aunts and uncles, you can't tell them what to do. They come to the cookout or the family gathering, they gonna complain. Some are gonna complain as soon as they walk in about something. It's kind of like, I got an aunt, man, and she puts so much salt on everything. So when she come to your house, she gonna complain about ain't no salt on it, even though she ain't tasted food yet. She can tell the fact that you got a small bottle of salt, so she knows she ain't got enough. Nah, she knows she ain't got enough. And then, you got your old uncle over there. He drinking quality liquor that he never ever bought or could afford. He gonna tell you how weak it is, because he used to stuff that's like gin, straight pure gin, and he's drinking half a bottle in one sip. And you try and ration his stuff, he'll tell you quickly, why you pour my drink? I don't need you pour my drink. I pour my own drinks. I got 3 hands, because he uses one of his foot, the only one he got left, like another hand. Yeah, his foot is just another hand. He got 3 hands. So, and like I said, they're never very appreciative. And as they get older, you wanna try and do something good for them, so you can go to your grave telling your God that I tried to do something good for my older relatives. And those are the ones I don't like. You know what? I don't like my young ones either. Now I think about it, I don't like my young relatives or my old relatives. I don't like my relatives. Now I think about it, I think out of about 50 of them, maybe 2 I would invite to my house. And those are 2 that went off to college. I'm just trying to think. There ain't a whole bunch of them that I got a long list of them to pick from and tell them I like them, or I want to invite them, or, like I said, family gatherings. I always tend to tell some of my relatives, they say, when you having a family gathering in that big backyard of yours? And I always tell them, I had one about 2 months ago, but it's just for somebody on my mama's side or my daddy's side. Whichever side asks me, I tell them it was the other side that I had a function for. Yeah, I don't want them to feeling like they got left out, which the whole intent was to leave them out. Yeah, so in this video, I'm showing you family reunions and people eating and people coming and going, and me going down through Tampa and stuff. And we took a one night, it used to be a 1-day event. Now we make it 4 days. We go Thursday through Sunday, family coming and going all around the country, really. So I always think about the family members that are not here. Didn't like them a whole lot either. Now I think about it. Nah, I really didn't. But they were fun though. See, here's what I'm telling you in this story. You can't pick your family members. God knows, if I could pick my family members, I would be only and lonely soul on this earth. If I could pick my family members, because I wouldn't pick none of the current ones I have. Well, at least not on my mom's side. And hell, not me on my dad's side. But here's the beautiful thing about life. You can pick your friends. And I don't have any friends today that I didn't pick. But I'm saying that people get friends and colleagues mixed up. That's a strong word. But I wouldn't have any. I would probably have pretty much the same friends. The same friends I have now is the ones that I would have picked a long time ago. I would still pick them because they're still fun. Some are dumb, some are goofy, some are just womanizers. They all got their faults to a certain degree. But I always know that I can depend on them. I always know that when I don't want to deal with them, they sense that already. Perfect example. When I say when I don't want to deal with them, it's not I don't want to be around them, but I have me time. Me and most of my friends know between 8 and 11 at night, if we got anything to talk about that day or important, that's when we talk. They don't call me during work hours saying, what are you doing? Because I'm working. No, they don't do any of that kind of stuff. So they kind of have an idea already that he's busy between 8 and 10. And if it's an emergency, they'll call me 2 or 3 times. And then I know that it's a car problem or something happened, or they need a ride somewhere. But I don't have friends like that because we all got more than one car. But, it could be, hey, run by my house and pick this Amazon box up because they only live a couple miles away because I got something important in that box. And I don't want a porch pirate trying to take it, which the porch pirate could be one of my other relatives, but they don't live in this area. So, it's kind of one of those things that I like a lot about friends. And if I tell a friend, be here at 2:00 and the doorbell rings at 12:30, I know it's not their friend. I know either FedEx or somebody left a package, or God forbid, it's a relative. Yeah, so it's all like that. That's where the fun comes in at. So my whole point is, when you have food and family, there's nothing good in it for you. You're going to spend a lot of money, a lot of aggravation, a lot of headaches, but ain't nothing good in it for you, though. That's just something you just got to get over, or don't have those functions. I got family members right now who can't stand one another, but when you say free, they get together. They find a way to make it work. Yes, they do. So this is your boy DJ Leon D. We're talking about family and food, and it's just not a good combination for anybody. I mean, for anybody, except for the people who are the freeloaders. Boy DJ Leon D out.